Hey, what's up? What's up? This your boy Apex the God here with you for Convict Life. Now, this one right here, I'm gonna tell you about the story about when I was at United States Penitentiary in Lee County, Virginia. We had a battle between the Texas Mexicans and the Paisa. You see, the Paisa, those are Mexicans that are born in Mexico. They got caught over here. They illegals, basically. And see, you would think that they all one people, they get along, but Mexicans that's across the border, they don't get along really with the California or the Texas Mexicans, right? But, they try to say that these guys are like, how Jamaicans feel about Jamaicans that's born in America. They call them Jamaicans and shit like that, like second generations and stuff. So, alright. So it's been hostility about it a lot, right? So Texas Mexicans ended up getting in an argument with a couple of the Paisas. And one thing I've noticed about the Texas Mexicans, a lot of them is pretty tall. Like most of the Paisas, they're like your typical Mexican, short. I ain't really seen none of them over 5'7", 5'6", 5'7". So me and my homeboy, his name was DeMarcus Ivy. They call him Shine from Charlotte, North Carolina, right? Me and him was in state prison together. He was blood and everything, so he used to go over there and G-check people and everything, used to steal people's shit and everything. We both worked in the kitchen. And see, he was still young, so he had that young youth spread mentality. One thing about the pen, though, especially the federal level 7 maximum security, like, motherfuckers don't play that fighting shit. Like, a nigga poke you with a lawnmower blade, they go ahead and get you up out of it. They're not about to play these little games and everything, right? So it was a couple people that was up there, they was soft as shit, and Shine used to press them. He used to take their shit and everything, he used to get in little fights and everything. So, some people did fight, but in the feds, when it comes to fights, like, it's a lot of politicking. Like, people that's from different states, like, they war together. Like, say, like, you got a problem with somebody from D.C., then you got a problem with all of D.C. And, usually the heads of the state will come together and they call it the car, and they call it the shot callers. But Shine was also Blood, so he was in the Blood faction, plus he was in the North Carolina faction. And the Bloods wanted to get Shine off, the California Bloods wanted to get Shine off the yard. But see, he was an East Coast Blood. See, they was beefing too. Like, the California Bloods didn't really respect the East Coast Bloods and everything because, their lineup is different. Like, in the East Coast, you got 5-star, 4-star generals and everything, but in the West Coast, you got OG, double OG. And see, with the West Coast, you got to put in time to receive your rank. And in the East Coast, like, you put in work to receive rank, or some people buy their rank. So, it's a lot different. It's a whole lot of different things that go into that right there. So when you got that going on right there, it's a lot of bullshit going on, basically. But so Shine was off his rocker. He just, like I said, just came from state prison. He really ain't going through. So we worked in the kitchen first shift. We used to go to the kitchen at 4 o'clock in the fucking morning. And when mainline come, that's lunch. We'll leave in the middle of lunchtime and the second shift will come in before lunch is over with. So we done went out there, we done came out the kitchen, we about to go to the yard. Because once you go to the yard, they got controlled movements. So best time to go to the yard is right there after a meal. So you go in there, and then after main line's clear, you can go back to the unit, or you can stay out there for another hour until they call rec call or work call, and then they do the count when you out there. So one day we out there and we just walking the yard politicking and talking, smoking a cigarette as we going around the yard and everything, right? So it's a controlled movement. And as we see the control movement, the dorms are on the outside of the fence because, everything is fenced in. Each section that you go to in the prison is fixed in. So it's a controlled movement. And we just walking, ain't talking and everything. And next thing you know, we see the control move, the outbound move. And I swear, it's about like, in the Mexicans, it's about like 500-600 Mexicans on the compound. Like 400-500 of them is the Mexicans from Mexico. Then you got like 100 California and Texas Mexicans, right? So, unbeknownst to me, shit was about to go down. So I'm walking with Shine, and Shine had already got into it with the New Orleans boys too. So they was already having issues. They had talked to him with the blood and everything. So me and him walking, and he my little homie. So I'm telling him like, look, bro, you got a good thing. You working in the kitchen with me, bro. You can make this bread, man. Stop all that you spray shit for somebody poke you. Like, nigga, I had, like I said, I had issues, and I've done over 2 years in a hole before I got there. And we gonna talk about that on another story about when me and the officer got into it, and I got shipped out, had to go to Mary and everything, but that's a different story for a different time. But, so we walking around, as soon as the gate opened, we halfway around the yard. And see, the yard, you can walk around the yard 4 times, and that's a mile. So each time around is a quarter of a mile. So we walking around, we there by the handball court. It's the outside basketball goes, the handball wall. It's a handball court, it's just a wall with the court. So as we walking around and everything, like, it's like a 300 yards from the gate to where we was at. And if you ever seen that movie Braveheart, that's the way it looked. The Mexicans just took off running as soon as they came through. It's about 300 Mexicans running toward where we was at. And I'm looking, I'm like, what the fuck? And I look over at Sean, I'm like, bro, what the fuck did you do? Like, I'm sitting here like, I'm like, what the fuck? And I ain't even got my joint on me. My joint over there by the other side of the trash can. And I'm like, bro, what the fuck? And I'm getting nervous like, bro, we about to get goddamn busted up. Well, I say, shit, we got to get a couple of them. And I'm like, Sean, what the fuck did you do, my nigga? He's like, bro, I ain't did shit. I'm like, bro, you sure? Like, what the fuck? It looked like they're running directly in our direction. And then I just happened to look behind me, and at the handball court, it's about 40 or 50 Texas Mexicans, led by the dude named Angel. He big, tall Mexican. He about 6'2". He used to play softball with us and football with us in the prison. And they up there waving the Mexicans on like, come on, niggas, come on. Like, they over there. And I'm like, oh, shit. So me and Sean, we got out the way and got on the ground. Because, that's what the people say. Like, in the towers, they see what's going on. And, you got gun towers all around the unit and all around the prison so they can keep track of what's going on. So the only thing we hear on the loudspeaker is, get down on the ground, or cuesta se de piso, or cuesta se de piso. That's all they hollering out over the loudspeaker. So they done hit the deuces. So, the prison, the officers, they running out there to the thing, but it's going to take them about 5 minutes to get there because they all the way on the underside of the damn prison. And like I said, it's about a half a mile run for them to get to where it was going down at. So these Mexicans, they're running. The other ones got their back near the handball court. And I mean, it just looked like a scene out the movie when they all clashed. Like, some of the Mexicans running, they jumping through with jump kicks. And next thing you know, we just see pow, 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 pow. We seen little Mexicans flying like they were fighting. Motherfucker had a lock in the sock. Like, one of them had a bocce ball. A bocce ball, they like big ass pool balls. And he had it in a knit bag, and he's swinging, cracking. We see these Mexicans, they got knives, they cutting, they stabbing, they fighting. Like, it was a whole bunch of ass whooping going down that day. Like, they were going to get it. And like, it was only like less than 100 of the Texas Mexicans, but they were beating the shit out the damn Mexicans from Mexico. Like, it was just, they was overwhelmed. And like, the Mexico Mexicans, they didn't really have the weaponry that the Texas Mexicans had. Like, they was Americanized. And them boys was going to war. They went to war for damn near 8-9 minutes. And I had to say it, they was outgunned 10-1. But actually, they really whooped them boys' ass. A lot of them was getting cut. They had a lot of damn people had to go to the hospital, airlifted and everything. And then, like, they got the damn PERT team, the Prison Emergency Response Team came through. They coming in with shields and batons. And if you still standing when that PERT team come in, you gonna wish you wasn't standing no more. They coming through, they not asking questions. They smacking niggas with them batons, hitting them with the electrified shield. It's zzz, pow, zzz, pow. Motherfuckers that wasn't even involved was getting cracked upside the head. Like, it was just a whole lot of ass whooping going down. Like, I was like, shit. Like, that was like one of the biggest brawls I've seen, and it was just, whew. I told Sean, I said, see, boy, you need to chill the fuck out. Shit like this could go down. So they started dropping concussion grenades out the towers. The sharpshooters, usually they use lethal weapons out there, but they was using non-lethal. So them motherfuckers got Dracos and AK-47s and M16s, shooting out motherfucking rubber bullets and pepper balls. All you hear is motherfuckers hollering. Them shits hitting hard. Boom. Rubber bullets hitting so hard it's breaking skin, but it ain't deadly. But they popping niggas. Niggas getting hit with concussion. Niggas getting hit with pepper balls. Niggas getting hit with sticks. Shield. It took about 40 minutes. They was wire clipping people, like tying people up with the wire tabs and everything. So anybody that was in the hole that day got released to the yard. It was a good day for the people that was in the hole. So they locked up all the Mexicans and all the Texas Mexicans. They locked them all up in the hole. And see, this is what I tell you about politics. Like, the people talk to the SIS, which is the Secret Investigation Service in the prison. They basically like the FBI. They FBI liaisons, because if you get caught in prison, they'll give you a street charge and everything. So they like liaisons to the FBI. So they came through, they got all the damn information and everything that went down and everything. And so the whole facility was locked down, basically. So they talked to the leaders of the heads and everything. And so the leader of the Paisa, the Mexicans, Jesse Maldonado, so he sat there and they shipped, all the Texas Mexicans got shipped off the compound. They sent them to like Florence, Colorado, and they sent them to Long Park, California, and Beaumont, Texas. So they got all the Texas Mexicans off the compound. So then they released all the Mexicans that wasn't critically injured back to the yard and everything. That's how politics work. But we was locked down for damn near a month. So that was bag lunches that we used to get in our rooms. We didn't come out. Unless you worked in the kitchen, you got to come out. But everybody else stayed in the rooms. You came out your room 3 times a week. They let you come out for an hour to go take a shower, to make phone calls and shit like that. But usually with these new prisons, that's why they turned all the old prisons into FCIs. And they built all these new level 7 prisons so they can keep a motherfucker locked down and don't have to let you out. And you can move through the corridors and everything, because the new prisons are like that. So, yeah, that was the first time I seen the real live Braveheart against the Paisa and the Texas Mexican. I think it was the Border Brothers and the Texas Syndicate. That's the ones that was right there. But it was a hell of a fucking battle. Like, it's a lot of things that went in the Fed prison that's etched in my mind. And, you know, I appreciate y'all for coming through on this show. And I'm going to let y'all know. Now, remember, I did over 16 years in prison. So I'm going to let y'all know about real life street shit and real life shit that went down in the prison, in the pen. I'm not going to give you that watered down content that other people give you. I'm going to give you the real. All I do is hit that like, share, and that subscribe button. And we're going to make this channel pop. And you're going to get the real life from the real life. Peace and bless to you all. This Apex the Guy Sosa, and I'm out.